The future depends on many things, but mostly on those plans and actions with the highest degree of difficulty. But difficult tasks only seem impossible until we conquer our fears and let faith arise to achieve the future we want. Hi there, I'm Arroyo Eubanks. Welcome to another edition of Jamaica Magazine. Today we look at plans to modernize the country's ports to increase efficiency in business and revenue collection. Plus, vulnerable youth becoming more employable through government adult literacy and numeracy program. Also on the pages, the facts on chronic obstructive pulmonary disease and local efforts to determine its prevalence and impact. Stay with us for those features and our top news stories of the week. Soon come.
Sweet Jamaica, we not left ya. Tough yam and banana, we not left ya.
Finger-licking jerk chicken, Helsha fish and bami, will run down yam and banana, roast bread fruit, sweet potato pudding. Jamaica food sweet. So let's make a pledge to use more local produce and less foreign goods. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow.
Sweet Jamaica, we not left ya.
The government has started some important projects that will increase economic competitiveness. These include the introduction of modern, fully integrated systems that are to come on stream at our ports. Increased revenue is one of the immediate benefits. Learn more now from this feature.
Fiscal prudence is simply good money management, getting the most out of each dollar and making sure that investments bring immediate returns and sets up your entity to experience more growth in the future. The same applies to running a country.
As the world economy recovers from the disruptions of the Great Recession of 2008, that it is going to move into a phase of sustained growth. We are in an early phase of that recovery still, but we need to ensure most of all that as the wave of growth picks up, we are able to surf that wave and to gather momentum domestically.
A key link in that plan is the management of our ports, which have an important role to play in the facilitation of trade. This fiscal year, government is introducing a number of mechanisms to improve port operations to make them more efficient in line with world standards. The Jamaica Customs Agency, JCA's mission statement, in part, is to facilitate trade, protect our borders, and optimize revenue collection. As part of achieving that, the agency is revamping its Authorized Economic Operator AEO program. An AEO is an individual or company that plays a part in the international movement of merchandise. The system rewards economic operators that consistently comply with customs regulations and focuses resources on potentially unsafe and high-risk entities and individuals.
The program ensures predictability in importation and, by extension, production timeframes, a critical component to the production process. Trusted importers and exporters can circumvent the lengthy wait between arrival of shipment in the country and actual receipt of goods, not just in Jamaica, but in other AEO countries within the European Union and the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation, APEC.
JCA's revamped AEO program was launched on July 20, 2014. Through it, all relevant personnel within the import and export chain will be certified to encourage compliance and reduce security risks. The program ensures the integrity of Jamaica's supply value chain and supports a working partnership between operators and customs.
It is really then a catalyst for improving the ease and speed of doing business and for moving goods or services across borders.
The Authorized Economic Operator Program was redesigned with assistance from the World Customs Organization, the Inter-American Development Bank, and the United States Agency for International Development, USAID. Another major development is underway at the Jamaica Customs Agency in support of government's fiscal policy. An automated system for customs data, ASICUDA, is being implemented at a cost of $4 million to speed up operations at the ports by fully automating export and import transactions. It was introduced through a pilot phase in February 2014 and will be fully rolled out in fiscal year 2015-16. This system will allow for real-time updates on new tax regulations to minimize errors and delays in the computation of port taxes. This automated customs data system is also expected to significantly reduce the cost of importation and doing business for local and foreign investors. And like other countries that have already implemented the Asikuda, Jamaica expects to benefit from a 10 to 20% increase in revenues.
The country needs the additional revenues, which can flow from this, just from the improved compliance benefits, including self-compliance. People can know what it is that they are liable for and can more easily settle their obligations. It's not just a matter of, shall we say, identifying persons who are trying to avoid or evade duties.
This is significant for manufacturers who often need to import and export particular goods multiple times before achieving the final product. This may include an item undergoing partial processing in Jamaica, being moved to the United States for further development, and then shipped back to Jamaica for final processing.
It means that if you are going to be part of that production chain, you have to be able to move your raw materials in and your product out without any interference, or as little interference as possible. If you are not able to do that, then people who are involved in organizing those production chains will avoid coming to your country to locate that piece of the production chain where we might be competitive and will seek other jurisdictions.
By retaining Jamaica's market preference, government is setting the platform for greater foreign exchange earnings, which supports a healthier economy.
Our business as government is to enable the people who are doing business of production to produce and to make us all in this country able to achieve a higher standard of living.
The Jamaica Customs Agency, streamlining its operations and practicing fiscal prudence.
Numeracy and literacy skills are critical building blocks for all of us to progress individually and as a nation. And even as the country is on track to achieve 100% literacy at the primary level of the education system, adults who need help are getting a chance to improve their employment status, income, and social standing.
Instead, I'm a little woman, walk up and down. I can't just know, say, yeah, wake up in the morning, I go to school, go and do something.
We learn from some basic English and maths.
It's a wonderful experience dealing with the student from the inner city.
Positive reviews from participants in a program to boost literacy, numeracy, and vocational skills. It's part of efforts to achieve strategic priority number 4 on government's agenda, human capital development, building the capacity of individuals so they can effectively contribute to the nation's growth. The Ministry of National Security through the Citizen Security and the Justice Program CSJP has been working with non-government organization Operation Friendship as well as the Jamaica Foundation for Lifelong Learning JFLL to offer remedial training to persons in vulnerable communities. CSJP, which targets unattached youth in volatile communities, recruits the youngsters. Operation Friendship facilitates the training at its institution, and JFLL provides the math and English teachers.
To deliver a 10-month pre-vocational program, which was aimed at 1, improving literacy levels, as well as their social skills with minimal exposure to general construction.
Using aspects of the constant practicing teaching method, classwork, assignments, tests, and projects, students were prepared for the Hard Trust entrance exam. If successful, they would move on to CSJP's vocational program, which provides advanced skills training at Hard Trust NTA.
Okay, today we're going to be talking about synonyms. Have you ever heard the word synonyms before?
Kind and generous.
Vacant, empty.
Messy and dirty.
You had to work from the basic letter sounds and stuff onto the other areas of literacy. This was my first time teaching adults, so the transition was a bit difficult, but I mean, I got into it. The guys made me feel comfortable, and so it has been good.
Class, what are we going to do today?
Change decimal to percentage.
What are we going to do?
Change decimal to percentage.
It's fun when teacher teach about percentage and them thing and teach you in a little tricky way to do it.
Students are interested in learning, right, and they try their best to maintain discipline and stuff like that.
And Mr. White is a living testament to what can be achieved if one is disciplined. Having been a participant in the CSJP, he completed his studies in primary education at the Jamaica University and is now empowering other young people. Administrators of the CSJP's pre-vocational training program worked tirelessly to educate and train the youngsters as they acted on strategic priority number 4 on government's list. The participants already have a rudimentary understanding of general construction, which will give them an edge when they begin CSJP's vocational program, Advanced Skills Training at Hard Trust NTA.
It teach me like to hold a hammer the right way.
You don't hold the hammer down in the neck, you hold the hammer at the end and you swing your wrists.
Well, my mindset is to inform other young men outside, in and outside the community, just to show that we get off the road and can come down at Operation Friendship and get it further.
I'm that star up in the sky, I'm that mountain peak up high. Hey, I made it, I'm the world's greatest.
To celebrate the achievement of the youngsters, a graduation ceremony was held at the offices of the JFLL. The results of a survey, the learner performance feedback, indicated that the program did much more than help participants pass the Hard Trust entrance exam.
87% indicated that their team building skills have improved. Excellent. 91%, want to listen to this, 91% indicated that their conflict management skills have improved.
I'm that star up in the sky, I'm that mountain peak up high. Hey, I made it.
You can't really look at persons from the inner city and say they're not worth it or they can't make it. If you as a teacher just do what you have to do, teach them, love them, just talk to them about reality and encourage them.
Come to Operation Friendship. We are willing, we are able, we have the manpower, we have the space, and we have the motivation to help wherever it is possible.
And I think that many of them see it now as a launching pad for greater things to do with their future.
So CSJP, Operation Friendship, and JFLL have been working together to achieve government's strategic priority of human capital development, improving numeracy and literacy levels of unattached youth while developing their social and vocational skills, building their capacity to make them employable and marketable so they can contribute to national development.
World's greatest. I'm that little bit of hope when my back's against the
Householders, business people, school administrators, protect yourself and your children from the chikungunya virus. Be on the alert. Help control the mosquito population. Chikungunya is a virus transmitted by the Aedes aegypti mosquito, which breeds in and around your home, workplace, and school. destroy breeding sites. Empty old tires and all other containers where water can settle. Bore holes in old cans. Cover water drums and garbage cans. Wash flower pots and vases and clean pet dishes regularly. Protect yourself from mosquito bites. Cover your body as much as possible and use mosquito repellent containing D. And if you're experiencing symptoms of chikungunya, a sudden high fever, headache, rash, nausea, pain, stiffness, or severe joint pains, see your doctor or go to the nearest health center.
If you have difficulty breathing and a history of smoking, you may have what's called chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, or COPD. Let's get the facts now on the causes, symptoms, and prevention.
Getting rid of and avoiding air-polluting actions like these are important ways in ensuring that we live healthier and longer lives. We'd be preventing life-altering conditions such as chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD.
Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease worldwide is recognized as a cause of significant what we call disability adjusted life years. It means that it cuts you down, it causes early mortality, you die younger than you ought to. But what is more frustrating is that if you continue to live, it's the quality of life that you now enjoy is so tremendously affected by shortness of breath as a result of this chronic cigarette smoking.
If you are a tobacco smoker, were once a smoker, have been exposed to secondhand smoke and other air pollutants like chemical fumes and dust for a long time, you could be suffering from COPD. COPD is a condition where the airways are damaged, causing less air flowing in and out of the body when we breathe. A pulmonologist is a doctor who specializes in treating the resulting lung disorders. According to consultant pulmonologist at the University Hospital of the West Indies, the UHWI, Dr. Althea Akar Stewart, it is one of the leading tobacco-induced diseases, with common signs and symptoms including ongoing coughs that produce excess mucus, shortness of breath, especially when doing physical activity, wheezing, and tightness of the chest.
Unfortunately, it looks a lot like asthma. So you hear the patients coughing, they bring up a lot of cold in the mornings or sputum, and you say, oh, they wheeze and they are short of breath, and you think it's asthma, but it's not really asthma. What it is the beginning of the effects of cigarette smoke on the lung, and they have a condition which is called chronic obstructive pulmonary disease.
Your doctor can find out if you have COPD by checking to see how well your lungs are working through spirometry testing.
Now, spirometry is really very simple. What it's doing is asking you to breathe into a machine and looking at how quickly you can breathe the air out of your lungs.
COPD may cause no symptoms or mild symptoms at first, but as it progresses, it worsens and the symptoms usually become severe. The severity of your symptoms will depend on how much your lung has been damaged, and if you keep smoking, the damage will occur faster than if you stopped smoking. A severe case of COPD can cause symptoms such as swelling in the ankles, feet, or legs, and there is an increased risk of heart disease, cancer, and pneumonia.
The response that takes place in the lungs causes damage to the heart, to the bones, to the GI tract. It's a systemic disease.
Emergency care should be sought if one has difficulty breathing or talking, lips and fingers turn blue or gray, mental alertness is gone, and there is heart palpitations. What's the prevalence of COPD in Jamaica? Research was designed under a $20 million initiative dubbed the Burden of Obstructive Lung Disease BOLD project to determine this. The Ministry of Health, in collaboration with the Pulmonary Research Group from the University of the West Indies, UA Department of Medicine, has made this their priority for an 8-month period beginning March 2014.
The study has actually been done in many other countries, and the data that has come out of this study has been useful to the different health planners in the countries.
Funding of the research is a joint effort of the National Health Fund and the UWI Principals Initiative Fund. It has been designed to garner statistics on the pervasiveness of COPD and examine the recurrent costs of doctors' visits, medication and productive time lost and its impact on the economy. Data collected will form part of the worldwide data on COPD.
We think that this particular project will give us a lot of information to plan on how to look at the prevalence of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease and to put health plans in place in our health system, which will only improve the quality of health care that we are able to provide for our country.
Significant focus is being placed on ensuring that youth are aware of the dangers of smoking. It has been asserted that once persons start smoking, they become addicted, and at that point, even for adults, choice is no longer an option.
My patients as a pulmonologist tell me that cigarette smoking can be very gratifying because nicotine is a highly addictive substance. Once it gets to the brain and the dopamine is released, which causes the high, you feel at peace with the world. The problem with cigarette smoking is that while that feel-good comes, the effects or the damage come much later down the road.
COPD is not a contagious disease and it has no cure, at least not yet. Therefore, it's best to steer clear of cigarette smoke and other harmful lung irritants. However, if you have COPD, treatments and lifestyle changes can help you feel better, stay more active, and slow the progress of the disease.
Know your numbers and control the keys to a healthier heart. Know the numbers for your blood pressure, cholesterol level, blood glucose level, and your weight and body mass index. Find out the risks they represent and what you need to do to stay healthy. Talk to your doctor and start making healthy lifestyle choices to prevent a heart attack or stroke.
On the board this week, the Clarendon Parish Council is calling on all high schools in the parish to get their debate teams together to participate in the council's essay competition. Teams are asked to send a 200-word essay on the topic, How the Clarendon Parish Council Works for My Community. Submit essays by Tuesday, September 30, 2014 on Facebook. Email Clarendon Parish Council at mlgc.gov.jm or drop them off at the Clarendon Parish Council's head offices, 7th Road, Maypen, Clarendon. The Jamaica Association of Administrative Professionals Kingston chapter is reminding administrative professionals of the association's monthly general meeting scheduled to be held at the Petroleum Corporation of Jamaica, 36 Trafalgar Road, Kingston 10, on Saturday, September 20. Starting time, 3 p.m. All administrative professionals are invited to attend. And that's all for community notices today. Send your events for broadcast on the JIS Community Notice Board. Call 922-868022 or send an email to cbishop@jis.gov.jm.
Our top news stories of the week are next.
Hi there, I'm Andrea Chisholm with your JIS News of the Week. The electricity sector enterprise team ESET announced on Wednesday that Jamaica could expect at least a 30% reduction in the cost of fuel by 2018. Energy projects, which will include new base load generating plants, are expected to save the country $350 million. ESET chairman Dr. Vincent Lawrence said several entities have presented proposals to build, own and operate new power generation and feedstock facilities to supply power to the national grid. The entities include the Jamaica Public Service, Jamalco and Alpart. JPS has proposed to convert the Bogue Power Station in Montego Bay to burn gas by 2015 while switching to liquefied natural gas at its plants at Old Harbour and Hunts Bay. Proposals from Alpart include the development of a new gas facility in 2017, and by 2018, Jamaica's coal-fired cogeneration facility is expected to come on stream. ESET is now conducting a review of the proposals.
We also plan to commission independent appraisals, but we want to be sure that Jamaica receives value for the money, and we want support of our team in negotiations with these people to assist us and have those assessments done to satisfy ourselves that what we are recommending, what prices we are settling, what the various things are the best for Jamaica.
The finance minister indicated this week that the Jamaican economy may grow more than originally expected in the next fiscal year. The initial growth target was between 1.5 and 2%.
Based upon identified projects, particularly in tourism and in relation to renewable energy, there is prospect for the 15-16 fiscal year for growth to exceed this and to extend into the range of 3% or more.
Finance Minister Dr. Peter Phillips, who was speaking at a post-cabinet retreat press briefing on Wednesday, also announced the formation of a subcommittee to identify and remove impediments to growth projects. A technical secretariat to support the committee will also be established within the Development Bank of Jamaica.
Steps are already underway to secure appropriate staffing and to have a technical subcommittee paralleling the work of the ministerial subcommittee that has been established.
Health Minister Dr. Fenton Ferguson has assured the country that his ministry is handling the chikungunya virus. He told Parliament that his ministry was carrying out vector control, community fever surveillance, and health education programs.
For the period June to September 12, 2014, larvicidal activities were carried out in 484 communities with 50,887 premises inspected. 84,015 containers were inspected island-wide for mosquito breeding. 24,206 containers were treated by members of the parish health teams. Space spraying activities were carried out in 977 communities.
Dr. Ferguson also toured the Yalas Primary School in St. Thomas, where there's been concern that the high levels of absenteeism among teachers and students is as a result of the chikungunya virus. Although no mosquito breeding sites were identified at the facility, Dr. Ferguson said the ministry fumigated the school as a precautionary measure. As of September 16, Jamaica had 31 confirmed cases of the chikungunya virus. The health minister is calling on persons to help in the fight against chikungunya by destroying all mosquito breeding sites and protecting themselves from mosquito bites. And those were some of the stories making news of the week. I'm Andrea Chisholm.
And that's it for today's magazine program, but keep the link. Tell us what you thought of the show. Send an email to jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm or hit us up on Twitter @JISnews. Also, click on our website, jis.gov.jm, for the very latest government information. On behalf of the team here at the JIS, I'm Arroyo Eubanks, inviting you to join us again tomorrow for more. Thank you so much for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.